doctors and are not married and they're doing these things?
Well, there's a variety of things. I think, first of all, we have to go back to you are very well known for teaching skills. Your students are.
Let's take them back to Nigeria and let's teach them a job.
The show is The Woman, and my name is Elizabeth Abai. Now, it is the month of women. We celebrate women from different arena, different field, different works of life, and of course, women who are saying no to any kind of inhibitions because they must be heard, because they must make impact in the society. I guess today is one of such. They say that when nature gives you lemon, you can quickly turn that lemon into lemonade for you. Mm-hmm. It is when you have said yes, then your God will join in saying yes and taking you to all level, greater heights as you desire it. That is the story of my guest. But who is this guest? Join us after this time out. I have my guest seated here with me. Someone who nature, somehow told to do something differently. She already started working at a point, and nature said, no, it is no longer time to do that. I have greater things to do, even though you may not be doing it with the legs on the ground. She is known as Lois Auta. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
I know that I had to drag you out of your tight schedule. In fact, I have to tell the whole world we've been trying to do this recording for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Even when I had to go to your office, it was a lot of work. Even though it was fun for me seeing you work, I enjoyed that bit. Giving comments, doing all sort of things every other person does. I was happy I was part of that, even though we didn't record at that time. Thank you for coming on this show and being with us. I would like to know, you do something, I saw something in your office, says network for women, the challenge to women. How did this come about?
I was inspired by 2019 elections when I saw many women groups with different vision and mission and objectives. So I said, I looked around and I did not see any network of women with disabilities. So I said, this is something we can do, starting from Nigeria. And we came together and set up network of disabled women. We started discussion on WhatsApp groups, and today we have 2 groups we are managing. Once you reach 256, you can no longer add anybody in the group. So we had to open another group, and today we have over 1,000 members in the grassroots and close to 400 on WhatsApp group. Our vision is simple: a world without exclusion. And our mission is to empower her, educate her, enable her, and invest in the girl child with disability, because she has rights, she has potential, she has the gift, she has the talent of making things happen.
Definitely.
So that was how network of disabled women came into existence.
I like that spirit because as you talked, I tried to cast my mind, back to the times when people go out to vote. I am not sure I have actually seen someone who is maybe physically challenged, standing out clearly to be voted for, especially the female angle. And I'm so delighted that that will happen soon. Are there success story? Are there women, living with disability who are going to take up an elective position soon?
Yes, my action in 2019 has inspired many women with disabilities. I have been mentoring younger women with disabilities, and by God's grace, they are aspiring for different offices in the 2023 elections, including myself. I'm going
Oh,
to run again. Yes, I lost the vote, but I have won the process.
true,
Yeah,
true. Yeah, so what are you going to contest for this time?
yeah, House of Assembly in Kaduna State.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
lovely. It would be nice because I recall the treatment you gave me when I visited, and I'm sure that with your humane nature, you really speak the minds of people. But I'd like to know, has it been easy for you reaching out to women? Naturally, women are kind of a setback when it comes to politics. They feel it's a men's world. Now, women with disability, I think it will be double the challenge. Or am I wrong? How easy has it been for you reaching out to them?
Yeah, it has not been easy. It's challenging because as women with disabilities, we are tripled jeopardized. First, as a woman, secondly, as a woman with disability, and lastly, the challenges, the barriers within her
Nigeria.
environment.
Okay.
So we need to take away those barriers, infrastructural barrier, attitudinal barrier, and also institutional barriers. This month of March is Women's History Month. What are we doing to ensure women and girls with disabilities are included in our agenda, our activities, our projects, and committees we are setting up? Do we have representatives of women with disabilities? I'm so proud for you inviting me to this platform, because somebody will say, what will I do with women with disabilities? Well, we're here today. Thank you for being inclusive. Thank you for having that kind of inclusive mindset that we're talking about. And I want others to emulate what you're doing, and other anchors and moderators in our media houses. Yes, we want to see inclusivity of women with disabilities issues, because we're the most vulnerable when it comes to gender-based violence, sexual violence, physical violence, emotional violence, economic violence, and so on. Women with disabilities are much more prone and vulnerable, because when a deaf girl is raped, how can she share her story? And when a blind girl is raped, how can she describe the incident? And when a woman in a wheelchair like me is attacked, how can I run? These are very sensitive questions that we need to be asking ourselves when we are putting on initiatives, projects, when from the planning stage to the implementation stage. We want to be included. If you are planning an event for 100 people, at least 20 or 30 people should come from women with disabilities. Let us sit down critically, discuss, brainstorm, and strategize on how this inclusivity of women generally and women with disabilities will be achieved.
You touched you touched a certain chord in me when you started making those descriptions. I actually added one in my head. I said when you have to rape a someone who cannot speak, someone who is dumb, she can't even cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so sad. We really need to sit up. And this can happen to anybody. I know that your story, you were already 2 years and you were walking before this happened. Some people lose their hearing or, speak at the age of 4, 5, 10. They weren't born like that. So that your child is okay today does not mean your child will be okay tomorrow. So it can happen to anyone.
Yes.
So that's the more reason why we must all sit up as women to ensure that every one of us, disabled or not, is protected. Because I know that disability does not affect the brain, does it?
No, it does not.
Because I know your activities you carry along the girl child, not just politician, like you also said. Someone, hinted that a lot of times when we have challenges, we get bitter. But the much I have seen of you this past 2 weeks and, been with you a little while, you're always cheerful. You always have this where you have this smile that is so encouraging. How do we begin to ensure that we remove bitterness, whether or not you're disabled? How do we remove bitterness and wear that cheerful, Lois smile?
Yes, first of all, we need to imbibe the spirit of gratitude. We need to be contented with what we have. When we are contented, we'll be happy, we'll be excited of what you have, not what you don't have.
Okay.
You need to count your blessings. You need to appreciate God for the gift of life, because many people are dying when you are alive. So you need to be cheerful. You need to tell the whole world that, yes, I am bold, I am courageous, I am resilient. Nothing is going to stop me from achieving my dreams. I have the abilities in me. I have God who has been my strength and my grace. So that kind of spirit of gratitude, appreciation, and contentment.
Wow. And you say with such a big smile. Contentment, that is it. Now, when you go to speak to the young ones, I know you pass on these messages, but what do you, see as a very that big elephant that is holding them back by, to achieving what they dream or making their dream a reality? I mean, women or young girls with a physical challenge.
Yes. First of all, some parents are still hiding their children in their homes. Parents with children with disabilities, if you're listening to me right now, please encourage your children and send them to schools. Yes, I know many schools are inaccessible to children with disabilities, but you need to keep on pressurizing our educational systems. You need to keep talking. You need to keep enrolling these children. If my parents did not send me to school, I believe you will not invite me to this beautiful program. So education...
I can blow your mind. I will still invite you. Whether or not you're educated, once you're making a mark.
Yes, that's another point. Yes, so we need to believe in these children. Persons with disabilities too need to believe in themselves, that they have greatness in them, that they can achieve any objective, any goal they have set up to achieve. And another thing is perception. The general public also need to believe in persons with disabilities' abilities. As I'm seated here in my wheelchair, I'm a woman with 99.9 abilities. Only one disability, which was polio, that affected my legs. But that does not stop me to think of other people. I can think with my brain and write proposals, winning proposals that always get approval for the betterment of lives of persons with disabilities. Is it in education, in health, in political participation, and other development programs? We want to see that 5% reserved for women and girls with disabilities who are graduates. We have some of them that are managing directors, CEOs of different organizations.
We actually
We
have
have
one in NTA as well.
engineers. Yes.
Yes.
So we are capable. We have the character. We have the competency in us. We need opportunities. We need platforms. We need the support to be able to thrive. And I want to say that take away the barriers, the attitudinal barriers. Don't pity us. No, empathize with us. Be in our shoes. Provide our needs so we can be self-reliant and self-independent. And another thing is to remove the infrastructural barriers. I was so glad when I came here, I saw ramps in NTA. Yes, if I should give you mark, I'll give you 80 over 100.
The other 20 will make it up. I'll come back and make sure that you give us the 100%.
Yes.
NTA you're talking about.
Yes. The largest network in Africa. So we need
100%.
to be accessible. Our buildings, workplaces, schools, parks and gardens, churches and mosques. We need to see that accessibility to infrastructures. Then the last one is institutional barrier. At the moment, women all over Nigeria are angry. They are protesting on gender bills that were shut down. Women have rights. Women occupy 57% of Nigerians' votes. Then what are we doing to include them? We're asking for only 35%, not even 50%. Grant our requests. We want 5 over 5, not 3 over 5. So our members of the parliament listening to me right now, pass all the gender bills that we requested. Pass the bills and give us our right, because enough is enough.
I can assure you it will get there. It will definitely get there. And going back to NTA, I tell you that my management from the DG down, everyone is very, very inclusive in their thoughts. They always ensure that everybody is carried along. And most especially, I have noticed they always ensure that women are carried along in all they do. Now, let me leave Auta, Louis, that is the politician, that is the educator, that is the manager, and go to Louis, that is the family woman. I know your wedding back a couple of years back, you made a lot of headlines. Everybody enjoyed watching you and your husband. How is he?
Yes, he's doing very well.
Okay, and how you enjoy marriage?
Yeah, very interesting.
It's not different from what you're used to. What are your experiences, really?
Yes, before I got married, I was used to sleeping alone in my bed, the way I want, the time I want, and doing all sorts of things independently. But now there are some things that I have to take permission. I have to carry him along.
Discuss.
Yes, discuss issues together and agree on terms and conditions that me and him have set up. Yes, in life, you need to be principled. You need to set up constitution for yourself individually. Family too needs to have their own constitution, rules and regulations. So marriage is a good thing, and I'm really enjoying my marriage.
You are proudly telling us that you have a very caring husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
very supportive.
He's a good man. He's God-fearing and very supportive. And to tell you how much supportive he is, he's here with me.
Wow. Oh, That's what's his
Must
name?
say innocent.
Innocent. Okay,
Yeah.
so please, can you? I cannot be talking to you behind the camera before they think I've gone mad. You need to come in here, just come over the side and let the world see the lucky man, because you are very lucky
Yes.
to be married to this beautiful lady with a lot of things.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I'm closing my eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Don't
Thank
worry, in a little while the program will be ending, so you can take your wife back. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's get back to you again in still at home. What do you do for relaxation? I noticed in your workplace you close very late, and I'm like, does she not have recreation? Early in the morning you're out
Yes.
again.
For me, during relaxation, I prefer going to sit down on the green grass. I like visiting parks and gardens with my mat, with my music, with my laptop, and relax and enjoy myself.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, I need you to speak to Nigerians, especially captains of industry. You talked a whole lot about inclusion. Could you just share an advice or two with them to encourage them to be more? Some of them may not really know what inclusion means. Maybe you speak to them on that.
Yes, for public and private institutions, we want them to prioritize issues of persons with disabilities. We have the Nigerian Disability Act, passed and signed in 2019. We also have the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. In that act, it was mentioned that in 5 years, we want to see accessibility everywhere. 3 years gone, we are in the 4th year, and most buildings in this country are still not accessible. One of them is banking halls. We have money in the banks, but we cannot access the money independently. So we need to start removing those barriers. We need to see persons with disabilities first as persons, not their assistive device, not the wheelchair, not the hearing aid, not the glasses, or whatever assistive device a person with disability is using. We also need to change the perception of pity and start operating on human rights model, not social model, not medical model, not physical model, but human rights model. Because we have rights to education, to health, to employment opportunities. And whenever captains of industries are employing, they should reserve that 5% employment opportunities or training opportunities for graduates with disabilities.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed, somehow nature has a way of compensating us for something we do not have. If you think your eyes are not working properly, by the way, you said glasses, so I'm disabled as well. If your eyes are not working properly, a lot of times your ear compensates. You find out that you can actually hear better than those who are seeing. So all it takes is for us to look inward to find out what God has given you as a compensation for what you think you do not have. As long as you're alive, there is hope. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Roosevelt was wheelchair, and he did very
He
well.
was one of the best presidents in the US.
Okay, imagine that. All right, so one day we look forward to seeing you as governor.
Yeah, amen. Yes, it will surely come to pass. Thank you so much,
All right, thank you too for coming on the show.
Elizabeth.
And
Yeah.
what else can I say? Believe in yourself. Whatever it is, give people a chance, especially women. It's a month. We get to enjoy it. I'll see you again next week.
Yeah.